So guys, today for my story time, I am going to talk about the first time that I ever got kissed. I was a late bloomer, at least for most people. The girl I was dating at the time, we'll call her Haley because that was my nickname for her. It really isn't her real name, but that's what she liked to be called at the time. And nowadays I still call her Haley. So I'm just going to say Haley. Why not? So I was about 15 or 16 years old when this happened, and so I was a sophomore in high school at the time. And this was not my first girlfriend. I believe this was my second girlfriend. So we started talking on MySpace because MySpace was a thing at the time. It was the most popular thing. So we started talking on MySpace where I met her because at the time MySpace was still a thing. I don't know, is it still a thing? I don't think it is, at least not for me. We met each other on there, but knew each other from elementary school, but never really knew each other. So we started talking on MySpace. I guess things progressed and we started to date. And there was one date in particular that this event happened. And I say event because it was a big moment in my life, as of any other guy's life, or anyone's life really. This day in particular, we decided to go to the nearby mall, which was Altamont Mall. And the way it's set up is the Altamont Mall is right here. They have a movie theater and they have a small little park with a little lake that goes around it called Crane's Roost. And we had gone to the mall. When we started heading off into the park, I got a phone call about 5-10 minutes into walking around the lake. It was a text from my sister saying, "I'm coming to pick you up." I guess she had to go somewhere at the time, and it was better for her to pick me up at that time. I'm like, great. I'm probably not going to get a kiss today. So it's the end of the world. What else am I gonna do with my life? So we got halfway around the lake. We found a bench. I think we started sitting down at the bench and we're talking. And I looked at her, and so I can't remember the exact words that I told her. But when I looked at her, said something along the lines of, "Hey, can I get a kiss?" I want to say she looked at me, and she had the look on her face like,
"Did you really have to ask me?"
and that's when I was like, oh, this is about to happen. And so it was a quick peck. I felt like we were rushed. Sparks flying everywhere, fireworks up in the sky. And it was a good kiss. And so at one point we got up, because I think my sister had texted me around that point. And at this point, all I remember is my sister talking to her and just getting to know her because she didn't know her at all. That whole breakup, I think the relationship lasted, I want to say around, I want to say 3 weeks, because I did something really stupid. At this point, I didn't know how to interact with girls, how to handle these type of situations. So at our school, right, they had different groups that come from different schools to check out the school. And yes, this was in high school. And so I believe I was talking to these groups of girls, and I guess I felt guilty that I was talking to them or something. It didn't even matter to this girl that I was dating. But the way I worded it was the worst way I could possibly have worded it. I felt guilty. I messaged Haley and I said, "Hey, I feel really bad. I was flirting with these girls." Not even knowing comprehending what flirting even meant. I had some idea, but I guess I didn't really listen to myself. I worded it really bad. It ended up saying, "What do you mean flirting?" And I was like, well, I was talking to them, and I don't know what else I said. Probably something stupid, knowing me. She responded and was saying, "I think we're better off not dating." And I remember being in class and just being completely heartbroken. It wasn't like my first girlfriend. It wasn't like, oh, it was just a girl. It was like, I felt for this girl. This was actually the first girl that I actually really, really liked. And I really cared for her. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I was in class. I held it in. One of the people in my class asked me, "Hey, are you alright?" All I remember was sitting in class, just staring off. And someone asked me if I was alright. I said, "No reason to live. I'm sad. I'm so sad. I'll be fine." Because I'm just like that. I'm very stubborn when it comes to people asking me if I'm alright. I got in the car. At the time, I didn't have a car, so I was riding with either my sister or my mom or my dad. This day, my mom picked me up from school. As soon as I got in the car, I broke down crying. And I think she was so confused because she didn't know what was going on. And so she asked me, "What's going on?" And I told her, I said, "Haley broke up with me." I think she just had to like comfort me because I didn't know what to do with myself. That's just the way I was at the time. I didn't know how to handle these situations. Obviously, it's a learning experience. So yeah, that's the story of my first kiss. Stay tuned for more story times. I've got a couple more ideas in mind. Like and subscribe. Bye, guys.
My first kiss went a little like this, and twist.